So in this video I wanted to talk about two main things that I'm sort of struggling with and things that I'm looking to overcome or try to improve. So the first one is simple, the target I've set myself to make at least £2,000 before I return back to school, and that goal is sort of due, if you like, before September. So I have until September until I return back to school to actually achieve that goal of making at least £2,000 before I return back to school. And then the other thing is more about the longevity of the Rise Up agency, but more on that later. So first I'm going to talk to you about the struggles and what I'm actually trying to do to try and get to that £2,000 mark before I return back to school in September. So currently I'm sitting on £80 and £97.90. In yesterday's video, I uploaded it earlier today I believe, but yesterday I filmed it. I was talking about the issues I'm having, whether that's not onboarding potential clients, whether it's struggling to gain more people interested. But let me just quickly and sort of go over it now, just for those who haven't watched the video yesterday. So in this video, it's all about I was struggling to gain interest for the agency, so I was cold calling around trying to, when they sent me to an email, I emailed them, but I never heard any replies. But for the few people that I did get interested in, for the few people that were looking to become potential clients of the Rise Up agency, which is the agency I run, in case you didn't know. But the people that said they did want to be onboarded that day, or the people that were interested but now they're not interested, or I even called someone that said they wanted to be onboarded that day. I called them later on that day, but the person that they wanted to do it, the receptionist, wasn't there, so I couldn't do it that day, so they asked me to call back, so I called back. And then from there, I called them back, and then from there they had no Wi-Fi, there weren't an area of signal, etc. And now it's come to the point where they ghosted me and blocked me. So whether they were interested, now they're not interested, or whether they were never interested to start with, I don't know. But that is something I've experienced, and someone, ghosted me after saying that they wanted to actually become an agency, become part of the agency, and become, part of the lead generation that I'm trying to do for them. And that's the update there. I'm trying to onboard more people, trying to get more people interested, trying to spark curiosity, whether it's cold calls, Instagram DMs, or emailing. So currently I'm Instagram DMing people, asking them to see if they can implement meta ads into their business, if it would be a good fit, if it's something for them. If so, how can we do it? That sort of idea. Then I've been given a few email addresses as well from the cold calls to send emails to about the offer that I'm running. I've sent those offers over, but no reply. I had one reply saying interested, so I sent over some more information. Tried to book in a call with them, but I've had no reply from that as well. So that is kind of the update as to trying to get to at least £2,000. Is not very far. We're not getting very far along with the £2,000 mark. Like I said, I've got £80. That £80 was from some social media, and then I got a £97.90 payment as well, and that was from actually trying to teach someone and showing someone how to implement meta ads into their business. So I've got a call later on today about that, in fact. So I'll be hopping on to that Zoom call later to discuss some things about how to implement meta ads, because it's not just about, going from how do you run an ad and how do you get someone to click on an ad. It's not that at all. What I'm trying to show people is how do you get someone from being first in contact with you online, so their first contact with you, whether your reel pops up on their For You page, whether they search for your profile or they found your profile somehow. It's all about going from that point all the way through to them becoming a first paying client of yours. So that includes, trying to intrigue them with free guides, if it's like a more online business, not a personal brand. With a personal brand, it's kind of a little bit different. But with online businesses, the way that I want to teach it is that you go from them seeing your content online to you providing a free guide of some sort. And from that free guide, whether it's, emails every so often, whether it's a PDF, whether it's a free course, whatever it may be, provide something free first, and then you go all the way through to actually providing them with a paid offer. So whether you host a webinar, whether you get onto a Zoom call with them, or you have a meeting with them, or a group of people, and from there you pitch them your offer, whether it's, like I said, in groups or one-by-one, one-on-one interaction with the person. So the next thing I want to talk about then, Thing number 2 is all about the longevity of the agency. And I don't know if it's something that has great longevity. What do I mean by longevity? I mean, how far into the future can it run? How sort of sustainable is it? How effective will it be? Let me explain, let me touch upon that now. So the longevity of it, what I mean is actually running digital marketing, and when you cold call around, or when you send people Instagram DMs, or when you email people, you come to a realization that there is actually a lot of agencies out there and a lot of people trying to pitch the same thing. But for most of the people I've talked to that have actually worked with agencies before, they just left them, didn't deliver results, they just got the money off them and then left them. So I don't really know how, those agencies, for every single agency that does that, it brings the actual good ones, or the ones that want to provide the services, the ones that actually want to provide a good customer experience. It just brings all of them down. And that's the issue. So, for the people that work a lot with these agencies and they've told me they've had really bad experiences in the past, a lot of empty promises, they say they're going to do one thing, but they don't do that thing. And it's kind of just, for the ones that don't deliver the right results, or for the ones that don't do it properly, it just drags every other agency down, because they all think when you hear agency on the phone, they start to panic, they just, say not interested immediately, or they just don't sound interested, they just don't want to become part of the agency, don't want to even try a free trial, just because they've been let down so many times in the past, whether it's just a freelancer, whether it's a full business, whether it's an agency that let them down. So for the agencies that do that, no matter how long it takes, because to get that free trial, or get those free leads results, or to get something or something else, whatever you're providing, whether it's a free trial, free leads, or anything of that nature, no matter how long it takes, if you still do it and you're still true to your word, then that's fine. But for the people that provide the free services, the ones that try to get on a lead trial or something like that, and simply do not provide the services, or don't even try to do it, they just take the money, they go, that is something that drags many agencies down. Because if it takes you a little bit longer than normal to provide, a free trial, or provide some free leads for them, whatever it may be, then that is, you can understand that maybe it's a different niche, maybe it's a different business for them, a business model for them. But for the ones that just take the money, there's no free trial, and then leave them, they're not going to be willing to work with an agency before, because of previous bad experiences. So that's something I've noticed, cold calling around, Instagram DMing, giving people emails. I've noticed there's so many agencies out there, and for the ones they have said yes to, or for the ones they have been interested in, they simply got let down. They didn't provide the services, etc. So that is a big issue, and that's something I'm noticing. By cold calling, I'm not getting very many people interested, because they're simply going, I'm not interested, I've had this sort of thing done to me before, it let me down. Or they just say I'm not interested at all, because they get at least 20 of those calls a week, and it just becomes a little bit repetitive. And so there's so many marketing agencies out there. So that is the issue. What's the longevity of it? Will it last? Are people actually going to want to work with an agency because of, rumours or past bad experiences? Because many people won't have even worked with an agency before, but maybe their mates are in the same trade, maybe their business partner has worked with one before previously. So wherever you go, there's this sort of bad energy towards agencies, I think, and specifically digital marketing agencies. So SMMA, which is a social media marketing agency, whether you're providing lead generation, whether you're providing social media management, I think that there is a bad energy towards all of that, because of previous bad experiences, or just because of the rumour, the sort of feeling that's around that type of business. So that's something I've noticed, and I'm worried about the longevity of it. How long will it last? Is it a good business model for 2025? Is it something that will work? And it's not about jumping from one thing to the other. It's not about, thinking, oh, I've started this now, it's not working for 3 months, and then moving on. If you spot the same pattern of every single person you're cold calling, we start to notice the same thing and everyone's saying the same thing. For the niche, it's not just about trying to stick to something, it's also about working on the right thing. And if you're not working on the right thing, then I don't think then, you know, what's the point? Because many people can work hard, everyone can work hard, but if you're not working on the right thing, then are you going to see results or not? And that is kind of the question I'm thinking in my mind, and that is what's making me worry about the longevity of the business. It's not, like I said, it's not about, you know, trying all the new trends, so trying drop shipping, and then trying short form reels, and then trying this, that and the other. It's all about working, and if you're noticing a pattern that thing very clearly has a bad energy towards, that thing very clearly is not going to work for you. I'm not saying the agency isn't going to work, but I'm just saying about the energy towards it, and if that thing definitely isn't going to work for you. It's all about working on the right thing, whether maybe that thing is better for someone else, maybe it's better for in different niche, different industry, etc. But it's all about working on the right thing and not working on something that is not going to get you any results or not trying to get you anywhere. So that is the main point of the video. That's the main new thing. The video is yesterday's video. I shared some of the issues I've been experiencing, trying to make at least £2,000 before I return back to school. But that is the main issue now. It's all about, does the agency have longevity? Am I working on the right thing? Because I'm very clearly noticing a pattern. Everyone's been let down by agencies before. They're not willing to work with agencies in the future because of previous bad experiences or because of the negative energy that there is towards agencies in general. That's what I'm kind of pondering in my mind. Am I working on the right thing? Am I not? And I'm not saying the agency isn't going to work. I'm not saying that if you stuck with it for 10 years you definitely wouldn't have a client, because of course you definitely would. But the main market feeling and the main energy towards it is quite negative, and that's something that I've noticed. Cold calling around, everyone just puts the phone down. Maybe something that may be worth their time, maybe something that intrigues them they haven't heard before, maybe that would keep them on the phone, maybe that would want them to listen and to find out a bit more. So that's something I've noticed. I'm just sort of stating general patterns, and the main point of the video is always I'm going to try and work on something that is important and something, work on the right thing, not work on the wrong thing. Because if one in every, 2,000 cold calls actually becomes a client, then is that something that is longevity? Because of course you could do it, and of course you can get people to cold call for you or outsource cold calling and get many people to do it, etc. But if you say you found something that was 1 in 50 cold calls, then isn't that something that has a lot more longevity? Because no matter, you can even get more people to cold call for you then, and that will just make it grow and grow and grow. But if it's 1 in every 2,000, for example, I'm not saying that's what I found, that's just an example, then is it something that's worth working on? Is it actually working on the right thing, or is that working on something that isn't worth working on? So that's the main point in the video. I'll update you as to how it goes and what I'm thinking to do with the agency. That's the update for the video. I will see you shortly. Remember to take it one step at a time, and then I'll see you in the next video.